Let's go! Legion! 1, 2, 3, go!
Hi, welcome to episode 13 of the Comic Con Community Podcast. My name's Will.
Hi, I'm Paul, and joining us today is the legend Reece Ryan. Hello, Reece.
Hello.
Hi,
How you doing?
Reece.
You all right?
Brilliant. Thank you for joining us.
All right. I'm literally just admiring all what's behind you guys as well. Is that an entire wall of pops behind you, Paul?
It is Funko Pops, yes.
Oh my
I,
days!
I have about 600 of them.
Stop it! You
Nearly as
can get
many
counselling for stuff like that.
I know you can. Nearly as many board games as Will.
Oh my! I'm just
Yeah,
looking at Will's
the few
all
board
board games.
Yeah.
Oh my days!
We're
and all I
both
have around
obsessed.
me is just pictures of that guy. Ugh.
So I'd like to introduce yourself, Reece, who you are, what you do.
You want me to do that?
Yeah. You have to tell our audiences who you are.
We've
Dear
got about
me.
an hour. so
We've got. Oh,
We're going for a brew. You crack on.
Oh my day! It will be very, very, very quick. I'm Reece Ryan, and I'm a horror movie actor. So there we are. So yeah, probably best known as playing Dr. Adam Brecknell in the movie Boarhog, and there he is,
Which you
right at
have
the
in
side
there,
of me,
yes.
right there. And we've got the costume here as well that I wear in the film. So yeah, I thought I would bring him out and let him have a little bit more glory. He doesn't get out very much these days. So
You thought you'd cheer everybody up.
absolutely, yeah. Everybody loves a serial killer. Everybody loves a serial killer, and that's
so
what I am.
How did it all come about? How did you get involved with Boarhog?
With him,
Yeah.
right? I was in the Wizard of Oz at the time at a particular point playing Scarecrow, and it was a really sort of big show, massive stage show with lots of technical things, and it was a new kind of way of doing these shows. It was just after COVID, and we were working with a skeleton crew, so regarding things like cast stage hands, things like that, it was all very sparse. So the production was massive. The whole thing was done with screens, and the technology of the Wizard of Oz for this show was incredible. So I was busy playing Scarecrow, and my phone was pinging, and my phone was pinging and pinging and pinging and pinging. And they were saying that there's a new movie being filmed in Manchester, and I should really look at getting involved. And to be honest, I was like, I'm just too busy for that. You know, Scarecrow has taken up so much time. And then I got a message from a friend of mine, and when he speaks, I listen. And it was just, this movie's got your name all over it. So I was like, okay, let's have a look at what's going on here. So I went online, had a bit of a Google, bit of a search, saw what the castings were all about, and thought, actually, it sounds okay. So I reached out to a guy called Chris Cutler, who was dealing with a lot of the casting, and said, I'm really interested. If you want to get back to me, I'd like to hear. So initially, I went for a character called Troy, Dr. Troy, Troy Beckingham. I thought, seems okay. I'd seen that the lead had already been cast. Boarhog was already cast. They'd already started making the film, and they got a lot of the characters in place. I could see that Boarhog was already cast, and they'd done a few scenes and whatnot. So I thought, okay, the character of Dr. Troy sounds pretty good, who is like a close friend who then becomes sort of like in a love triangle with Brecknell. So I auditioned, and I did that. They pretty much came back to me and said, yeah, you're not quite right for Troy. And I was like, no, that's absolutely fine, no problem whatsoever. Then they came back to me and said, could you do another screen test? Something like that, but make it a little bit more angry. And I was like, I can do angry. I can do that. That's no problem. That's fine. So I went back to 53 Is it 53 Studios? Something like that. 53 Studios in Manchester. So I went back in and did this other screen test where I literally picked a table and threw the table at the camera. I just went a bit crazy.
One way to get angry, yeah.
Yeah, went a little bit psycho, a little bit dangerous, and I pulled this anger out. Literally sent it off. Simon, who had filmed me, was like, let's get it off. So I sent off. I went back into Wizard of Oz mode. So the screen test that I had done ended up with the guy who created Boarhog and who was there as director, a guy called Craig Quinn. And
Who we've had on the show.
Oh, he's been on, has he?
He's been on, yes.
Amazing. So he had an idea in his mind of what he was looking for. And bearing in mind, Boarhog had already been cast, remember? So as he put my screen test on, there was a mountain of emails from other people who were all wanting castings and looking for different characters and everything. Because there's a lot of characters in this movie. And he literally came back and just went, that is Boarhog. That's him. That's everything I looked for. So the scenes that had already been filmed were deleted. Unfortunately, the actor who was playing Brecknell originally parted ways with the film. It was a unanimous decision. He wasn't kind of feeling comfortable within the role, and Craig wasn't actually seeing it match up like a jigsaw. It wasn't fitting.
Yeah.
So quite a few scenes had already been filmed when I was brought on. They called me and said, we'd like to offer you the franchise. We would like you as Brecknell. And in my mind, I'm like, but he's already been cast, and we got through all of that. So I went in for fittings of this baby. I was given the script, and it was at that point I thought, can I really be this dangerous and this absolute monster? Because
it's the mindset, isn't it? Yeah, it's the mindset you've got to get into as well.
You know, he is an awful person. He is absolute vile human. But I fell in love with him instantly. I think I get asked that a lot at Comic Cons, you know, do you hate him like the rest of us? And I'm like, no, I love him. I love Adam. I love everything about him, because there's so many layers to him and so many levels of what he's been through, and there's a whole backstory that's not explained in Boarhog, but it will come out in the sequel, of exactly why he is so evil. But I kind of looked under all the levels and peeled it all back. And yeah, I fell in love with this guy and thought I can really, really tell his story while still being completely deranged. A bit like Freddy Krueger. You know, there's such a backstory to Krueger. He's not just this demon that, you know, there's an entire backstory. The same with like Jason Voorhees, the same with the Terrifier, the same with Chucky. You know, that these monsters, if you like, have an amazing backstory, and I really wanted to create that with Boarhog. So the first time I actually walked onto set, we were filming a scene that was shot about 30 minutes into the movie, where the affair starts with the secretary. So that was my first day, full on affair, a lot of undertones of a lot of sexual tension, and so that was my first day. I purposefully didn't want to meet Beverly Rendell, who was playing my wife. I adore Bea. She is just, oh, she's like my wife in real life. You know, we just get on so well. But I needed her to meet Brecknell. When they cast her as Laura, I specifically said to Craig, to Mandy, who was dealing with costume, with hair, with set design, and Chris Cutler as well, who was on set. He was doing camera and sound. I specifically said to them, do not let me meet B. I don't want her to see me. I don't want her to know anything about me. Whatever I do on this set, do not turn the cameras off. And that's all I said. And Craig said, obviously we've got to go through all the lines and everything. And I said, just trust me. Do not turn any of the cameras off. Whatever I do, just go with it. So Bev was getting ready. She'd had her makeup done. She'd got Laura's outfit on. There was 3 cameras set up. We'd got Nick, who was playing Claire, Nicola Mayers, she was on set. We'd got Graham Parrington there playing the part of Brian. They were already on. I didn't even really speak to them, to be honest. I was just in this headspace of all this evil running around my head. And I knew how the scene had to go. And bearing in mind, this is the first time I had met any of them. They didn't know me at all. They'd never met me. I'd not met Chris. I'd not met Roger. I'd not met Mandy. And I was sat. They brought B in, sat her at the side of me. I never even looked at her. I just looked forward. They counted down. Let's go for a take in 3, 2, 1, go. And I literally turned, went into the lines, which are vile, absolutely vile lines. And I got hold of her by her hair, and I pulled her hair back, did everything that I needed to do, literally abused this beautiful lady. And she'd literally, all her eyes filled up with tears. And I could see this fear on her face. She literally blushed, and this fear took hold of her. And I could actually see her pupils were widening because she was so frightened. Nick and Graham left the scene, and that was when I really, really had to go for it, where I got my fist up to her, put it up to her face as though I was going. And the line is, I will smash your face in.
Yeah.
And the fear on her face was unreal. And then she just got tears in her eyes as they said cut. She couldn't have got that emotion if I'd have been really nice to her to start with.
Yeah, planned.
And when they said cut, there was Chris in front of me, Roger was there, Craig was at this side, and they were just all absolutely silent. They were like shell-shocked. And that was my first proper introduction to all the crew and to my core cast members, of me literally traumatizing them all.
Did you apologise
Did you
afterwards?
go, hi guys, I'm Reece Ryan, yes.
And then I was like,
I'm Reece Ryan, guys.
It was strange because I had to build all these levels ready for Brecknell to turn into him. And obviously this is the what I use in the film. It's on all the posters. This is the actual one. It's the only one there is. So when I started doing everything with this, it was a bloodbath. It was an absolute bloodbath.
It is. But like I said, when the people meet you, you can tell how good it comes across on the screen, because when people meet you, you're such a lovely bloke. Everybody's like, Reece is lovely. I said, watch the bloody film. He's not.
He's not. I mean, I have this. So this is what I do most of my kills in. So that is the one from the scene where there's a scene where I rip a guy's face off, and all the blood is spurting out, and all you can see is the camera in my face as I've got the knife, this one, as I'm holding it, and I'm slicing through his face, and then I lift his face off. So so this is the jumper that I wear in that scene. So all the blood is it's from the victims, to be honest. And this is the jumper that they threw me in the canal in the pond as well. So yeah, I kept that. But,
so what was your thoughts when you first saw the Boarhog? When you first saw it, because you said you went down, did you have to go and get, like, what they do with the,
yes,
the moulding and stuff like that? And
the first time I put him on, was we were at a location in Droylsden. Most of it was filmed in Medlock Vale, and we went to this lockup, and Craig, who was the director, he said, we're ready to try him on now and see what it looks like on. And it was so strange because it's like I put him on. I mean, he's here, but it's like it wasn't me anymore. It's like this surge went up me of this feeling, because all I can see is just through the eyes. And there's a zip at the back that zips right the way down, so I'm completely encased in this, and it was bizarre. It was really bizarre, because at that moment I really felt this connection.
The character's alive now.
Yeah, and it was a closed set as well. The first person who saw me as Boarhog was Beth McShane, her character, where I have to chase her through the lockup, slam the door onto her, snap her arm back so all the blood's spurting out. As she pulls herself out of the door, she runs down this street, and I'm chasing her literally. And we got a smoke machine, so all the smoke was going. We filmed it about midnight in Droylsden on this derelict, deserted street. So she was actually the first person to see Boarhog, and she had a blindfold on. So she was got into position. All the lighting was brought in. I was brought in the full outfit with the headpiece on, and she was told what she had to do. She's looking for some drinks, some cans of beer to take to a party, and so she's looking. So when the cameras were already ready, Craig said, "You can take your blindfold off now, but you do not turn around. You must not turn around until the lines, because we need the reaction of the moment you see him. It has to be real." So when you see me appear in the scene, it's shot upwards, so I look about 10 foot tall, and all the lighting behind is red. And as I walk round the corner, she's got her back to the camera, so it was done on cutaway shots. And the moment she turns round, and if you see the scene, she literally falls backwards into this cabinet, and everything falls around her as she's screaming. And that was all real. Her legs literally gave way with under her. She was absolutely terrified, and we did it all in one shot as she tried to run and get away, and I grab her and slam the door onto her arm. That was done with prosthetics. As I pull her arm back, cutaway shot to the bone springing out of her arm, all the blood running down her. So we did that on cutaway shots, but the scene where I actually grab her and throw her, that was the first time she'd ever seen me. And
that's good, like I said, straight away getting that reaction, because we were speaking to Craig about not everyone can scream on camera.
Yep.
And it must be very hard to just go scream. And you go, yep. It's not that you want that initial reaction. So that's great to hear that, she had the blindfold on, and then it's the first reaction, and everything's no cutting, no editing, nothing. Just that's it. There you go, bang.
Just as you see it. And when I ran down the street after her, that was shot about an hour later. So she'd calmed down at that point. But then she's in a scene with Leslie Longley, who I love in these scenes. He's wearing a Freddy Krueger jumper.
Yeah.
And I love that little Easter egg. I love things like that within scenes, that there's little nods to other icons. And so it was about an hour later, but I hadn't had the suit on at that point. So Leslie hadn't met Boarhog at that point. So when he turns round on the street, although it's meant to be a second later, it was an hour later or whatever, because we'd had a break. But that was still the first time that he saw it as well. But oh my God, there was so much blood in this film. So much blood. Oh,
and it's on Amazon, guys. So if you want to go and see it, it actually is on Amazon.
It is. It's on Amazon.
It's on Craig about that. Yeah.
It's on Amazon. It's on Apple. It's on Fire Stick. I've got it on Blu-ray. So it's all over the place. It's all over, which is quite bizarre, to be honest. It's really bizarre. It's fun.
Well, normally sometimes these just come out on DVDs, because we were saying to Craig, they just come out on DVDs. they go into a supermarket and back shelves, nobody really sees them. But yours has gone straight onto Amazon, like you say, Apple TV. So that's brilliant.
It kind of went everywhere, and I think the reaction in America has been good regarding the award. I got notification through that I'd been nominated for Best Actor at the Los Angeles Horror Awards.
Amazing.
So we got notification that it's gone through all the screenings, and you have to be in the top 6 for Best Actor, Best Actress. It's all in separate categories. So we were in the top 100. Then they came back and it was like, yeah, you're in the top 50. Then they came back again and said, oh, you're actually in the top 20 now. And then when they came back again and said, you're in the top 10, I was like, okay, this is this is gathering some traction. And then it was, you're in the top 6. You are in the top 6 in the world for the Horror Awards. And so the Horror Awards happened in Los Angeles. Nominations were read out, and I won Best Actor in Los Angeles for it, which
amazing. Well done.
Completely blew my mind. I mean, I'll have my award with me at Comic-Con, but I should have had it here. But it's a beautiful award. It's absolutely stunning that was sent over from America. It's a big piece of crystal, and it's all wrapped in gold. It's got my name in it, in the actual gold, and then Best Actor runs through the crystal as well. So I was like blown away. Best Actor in Los Angeles for a horror film.
I'll
Unreal.
get a picture of you with that at Horrorwood.
I'll be bringing it.
We'll post it up for you. So you mentioned the first scene there where you said you'd never met her, you had to grab. Was that the most challenging scene, or was there other scenes where you found a bit challenging, or did you just say because you said you was a character you felt comfortable, or was the one part where you was like, actually,
it sounds awful. I really enjoyed scaring her on that first scene. That was really good fun. It's not so much challenging. It was more like, how far can I push this?
Yeah, because with a villain, sometimes you probably think there's no limits really, but there obviously has to be on set because you've got to make sure like your co-stars are safe and stuff like that.
Absolutely, and I think we had so much fun, and they knew when I was worn out, and I'd just go and lay in a field on my own, and I'd take the head off, and there's a lot of behind the scene pictures of me just laid in trees, and they're like, just leave him alone. He's recovering at the moment, but. One of the challenging, there's a couple of challenging ones. One was where I'm chasing the car, where Laura, the wife, has managed to escape the house, and she's trying to get in the car, and then she reverses, and I jump on the bonnet, and I'm smashing at the windscreen, and that took about 8 or 9 takes to do that, where I'm chasing this car. But there was one point I was hitting the window so hard that I thought I'd smashed the windscreen. So I was like, and I had to stop because I thought there was a crack that appeared, but it was actually a water streak that had run down as I punched it. But for me, I panicked. I thought I put my hand through this car window. So that was quite tough. And the other one that was a little... getting put in the lake in the body bag, that was tough because we filmed that in December, and it was like one of the coldest days of the year.
Remember you saying, yeah.
And it was snowing, and they had to keep moving ice that was forming away from me, and they threw me into a pit. So they dragged my body out of this lake by this canal and threw me into this big hole in the floor. No idea why this bloody hole had been built in the first place, but it was really creepy. This was a real pit in the middle of the woods with all these pillars around. I'm like, this is like a satanic ritual place, this. So they threw me into this pit, and they didn't use it.
I'm trying to think, then remember, as guys like, where's this pit?
We filmed for about 6 hours in the snow. It was so cold that the cameras and the lights kept fusing because of how cold it was. They wrapped me in tin foil and then took me out and threw me in this pit. And it was snowing that heavy on us that they had to keep coming and moving all the snow off my face, because I was meant to be dead at that point. So they're moving all the snow, and they didn't use any of it. None of it. None of it. None of it.
I froze for nothing. I froze
None of
for
it.
nothing.
And then there's a fight scene between Craig and I. Craig plays a character called Benji in the movie. So there's a fight scene, and it lasts just under 2.5 minutes, 2.5 to 3 minutes.
Is that when you get to battering with a tree?
Yeah, battering with a tree. So it's realistically about 2.5 minutes on screen. That took 6 weeks to film.
Wow.
6 weeks.
All you had to do was batter him with a log.
There was
I bet he was sick of that log after it.
There was over 200 camera shots in that one scene. 200 camera angles, lighting changes. It was absolutely unreal. And if you watch really, really closely, because of the time that we filmed, when we started, there's leaves on some of the trees. By the time we finished, there's no leaves on any of those trees, which I find hilarious. But we filmed in the same spot night after night after night. Because of our schedules and other things, we were there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it took 6 weeks to do that shot. So, and I sat and watched it at the premiere, and I was like, none of you have any idea of what.
That was only 2 minutes. What you on about? Yeah.
Is that because Craig wanted it to be perfect because he was in it, do you think? Or was it? Or was there an issue with the actual. Why did it take so long?
He needed so much. We needed to get so many cutaway shots just so that we had every base covered. So we filmed it.
It's the angles, isn't it? Yeah,
every conceivable angle. And there's a huge scene in it where I take that, and I go straight through his leg with it. And the amount of blood that was pumping out, that was I think that was week number 3. We were in that one. And there was so much blood fired over me. I think I'd been filming about 9 hours that day. It was freezing. I was so hungry and I was so cold that I actually went, I'm going to be sick. I can't take no more. I'm actually going to be sick. And I took the head off, and I went and literally I slid down this tree, and they came over and they were like, are you all right? I'm like, I'm done today. I can't do no more. I'm absolutely done. I've had enough. And so I took a couple of days off after that. I just needed a complete break. I needed a complete reset, because it was constant. It was never ending. It was month after month after month after month, take after take after take after retake after rewrite after take. And I was just like, I just need a bit of a break, because I was waking up at 2 a.m, and it was like Brecknell was here. He was with me. I could hear him. And we got to a point where we were filming in this hospital, and in one of the earlier scenes that's shown in the movie, but it was actually shot quite late on, so it's all edited and filmed out of place. So we were filming, and Nicola Mayer's one of my best friends in the world. I adore her. We were filming our scene, and it just felt a bit rushed because we were working to such a schedule. It just didn't feel right. So I came home and I had a bath and I got in bed, and I was up all night. It just wasn't sitting right with me. And I felt as though I'd cheated Brecknell. That was what I felt. I'd let him down. So I rang Craig and I just said, I'm really, really, really not happy. I rang Nicola and I said, how do you feel? And she said, and I said, we're cheating them. You're cheating Claire and I'm cheating Brecknell, and I'm not having it. It's not sitting right with me. So I said to Craig, we need to go back and reshoot the whole thing. So he nearly fell off his chair. And I said, no, he said, it's fine. I said, no, I'm not taking no for an answer. And so we got back in touch with the whole corridor that we filmed on with the officers, and the scene where Brecknell actually gets, fired from the hospital, which leads into the story for him to becoming this. And I said, this is such a pivotal point in this movie. This is where he loses everything. And if it's not right for me, sure as hell is not going to be right for my audience. And so I paid myself to hire the whole place again. Just pay. I said, I'll pay for it all. I said, I'll pay for everything.
Does that say much you cared about the character and you wanted to make it spot on?
Like I said, I wouldn't do anything to cheat Brecknell. I just couldn't do it to him. So we went back, we refilmed it all, we reshot it all on different angles using what my mind had seen it. And for me, that is one of my absolute favorite scenes, that one. The way that looks with that line, and it's one of my favorite lines, you may live to regret this conversation. Something as simple as that.
Yeah.
So underplayed. The music is perfect. The camera's looking up at Adam. It's just this threat of, do you really want to take me on? See, he's coming out now. He's here right now. That's the thing. Do you really want to take me on? Do you? And it's that nuance, that subtle feeling of unrest, of uneasiness that I love in that scene. And that is one of my absolute favorite scenes. Yeah, the kills are great and stuff like that, but just that moment where
it gives you chills as you a third standing up.
It's that moment where Adam realizes that the whole deck of cards is crumbling around him.
I'm done.
Yeah. and so that is one of my absolute favorites. There's a few great lines in there, but that one, just that one line, you may live to regret this, is just a standout, because I tried it different ways. I tried it where I was really angry, I slammed the table and I was like, blah, 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 blah. And then I tried it a different way where he was really upset. But that one, he is so cold and he is so numb at what's unfolding in his life that, yeah, I do like that scene. That's one of my best ones.
So just taking away from Boarhog for a minute.
Yep.
How did Reece become an actor? What made you want to become an actor? What inspired you?
So, I went through a very, very rough childhood. Don't get me wrong, my mum is amazing. She's incredible. My dad, on the other hand, how do we go into this one? My dad had his ways, and literally abused me physically and mentally. The beatings were severe. I was referred to as boy. I was told I would never accomplish anything. I was told I was nothing, that no one would ever want to speak to me, that anyone would ever take me seriously. It's taken a lot of therapy, a lot of counseling. And so what I did, I created my own world to keep me safe. And so I bought Lego, and I loved my Lego. And I had the riding school, the police station, the hospital, the pirate ship, you name it, I had it. And I built myself a Lego world. And I sat in the middle of this Lego world. And I was safe there. I was important there. I was liked. I had a voice. And every time he came in and smashed my Lego world, I built it bigger. And all my characters, it was like living in a soap opera. All these characters around me. So the abuse did get really bad. I tried to take an overdose, failed. I got myself out of that situation. I escaped the abuse. It took a long time, believe me, it took a long time. But I got out, I got free, and I found a world within the YMCA. Justine Green, she changed my life. She changed everything. She saw something in me and lit a fire within me. So I joined the drama club at the YMCA every Monday night called Tensing, and I loved it. And this world opened up to me of playwrights and magic and musicals and amazing films, and it was just with people the same as me. And so I went to Newquay, forged a new life in Newquay, met some amazing people. Then I traveled Europe. I went to Czech Republic. I went to Malta. I went to Switzerland. I traveled all over Europe at 16, 17 years old, met the most amazing people. I became ambassador for YMCA worldwide through a guy called Ken Montgomery. He believed in me. And through these people, I started to network and become a sponge. And it led me to the BBC, where my life changed forever, under the guidance of Anne LeJune within the BBC and a guy called Michael Dinning from Associated Promotional Services, where they took this broken, empty child, teenage lad who had a dream and showed me that the world could be mine. So through them, I met Cannon and Ball, Paul Shane, Ken Dodd, Ruth Maddock. These people became my family. I did the Cannon and Ball show. Bobby Ball was just amazing. I'm still in touch with his wife, Yvonne. He gave me £20, 20 quid all those years ago and said, buy yourself a sparkly jacket. If you wear a nice dinner jacket, you'll never go far wrong. And so it was him who got me into all the
It wasn't wrong,
clothes.
I know, yeah. He wasn't wrong because you look amazing in all your glam.
I try. I just
Yeah.
and
You're
I
like
just,
a walking Blackpool illumination.
I am. Ta-da! You know, it was just amazing. You know, working with Nick Park on Wallace and Gromit,
Yeah.
doing Pingu. Wallace and Gromit was just awesome to be there and to see all of this.
Love
And
Wallace.
it was through Peter Sallis,
Yeah.
the wonderful Peter Sallis, that led me on to things like Last of the Summer Wine,
That's what I was trying to think of, yeah.
to Coronation Street. You know, my lifelong friendship with Tony Warren, who created Coronation Street, opened so many doors within Granada Television. And it was just amazing. It was just, my God, I look back and I just think, I was a teenager. I was a kid from Doncaster, and I was hanging out with Mike Baldwin and Jack Duckworth or Corrie and these icons, and Jean Alexander, Hilda Ogden, and you know, I absorbed everything. I was like this giant sponge, and I was like taking all their energy and thinking this is incredible. And you know, working with the likes of Dame Edna Everage, Barry Humphries, my goodness, the things he taught me.
Yeah.
They nurtured me. They all believed in me. They all liked me, and I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to being liked because I was so broken. So I moved to London, and my life just spiraled into this amazing glitz, glamour. You know, I was at parties with the likes of Dave Courtney, one of the greatest gangsters of all time. He was with the Craze, and he was my mate. Dave Courtney was my mate. And you know, and then it led me into the charities and starting to raise money for different charities and giving stuff back. You know, I've raised over 2 million quid for British charity, you know, and that was my way of being able to give something back. You know, to say, you know, I'll do anything to help anybody. And I just kept meeting these amazing, amazing people. And every time I thought I couldn't better it, I was like, wow. You know, there's
But
not many people.
you can see that within you, and that's why I wanted you on, because
Mm,
like I said, your story, and you know,
yeah,
it will inspire other people, you know,
yeah,
people watching this to say, you know, thank you for sharing and getting it out, because like I said, there'll be people sat there going, that's me, you know, and
exactly.
like you're saying,
And
but you can see you sponging, you know, when you talk
yeah,
about sponging, you can see that in you because you're lighting up and
yeah,
you
it's
know,
true. And it's just about surrounding yourself with nice people. You know, my best friend in the world was Kim Woodburn, and she had the TV persona, and obviously we lost her last year, which nearly killed me because she's been my rock in life for years. And along with Trisha Penrose from Heartbeat, I turn to Trisha for everything. If there's anything I need, if there's anything I don't feel right with, I'll just ring Trisha up, and I'm like, um, but it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, do you know, I'm not feeling great today. And to say, you know, I don't feel great, don't feel great. But you've got to surround yourself with nice people, because there are a lot of jealous people out there. There are a lot of people who want to drag you down, who want to, I suppose, drip a little bit of toxic poison into your life. And I don't like that, which is why I have a beautiful, very small circle of friends who I trust, who believe in me. And I like a calm, quiet life. That's all I want. Just calm. I do what I do. I'll do stuff like this, chop a few people up, and then go back and clean my pond filter out.
have a cup of tea. Have a cup
Clean
of
it.
tea,
Just, yeah,
a
it's
Yorkshire biscuit. Yeah.
absolutely, you know, it's about just being grounded. You know, I love my bowling. I go 10-pin bowling every month. I started pottery class. I made a bowl. I've made a bowl.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
Great. I loved it. I loved it.
But
You know,
that's what you're saying, though. It's a network. It's your life, what you build yourself. Like you said
yeah,
with the Lego set.
yeah,
So the Lego set was your life, your safety net, and now you're doing it again as an adult.
yeah.
Like you're saying,
I
you're
think
loving your bowling, you're loving your
because,
life at the minute. You've got your
yeah,
great friends.
I mean, I've been single over 3 years now, and that was a big, big, big change in my life. I never thought I'd be single. I never expected it to happen, but it did, and it's taken a lot to get through it, and a lot to adjust. But I feel amazing now. I am so happy with my quiet life, and I like I said, I have a nice circle of friends. Um, but I reached out. I reached out to talking therapies, and I literally said, I am broken. I am really, really in quicksand here, and I don't know which way to turn. And so last year, going through such intensive therapy has been the best thing I have done in years. It really is. I am so glad that I asked for help, because I was sinking fast. I don't do much on social media. There's not a lot on social media anyway. I think on my Facebook, I've been on Facebook since 2008. I think there's 10 pictures, because I don't need social media, and I don't need the, I suppose, the gratification of a like or a heart. I shut Twitter down. I've never been on other stuff. You know, it just doesn't interest me, to be honest. Um, I like a conversation with real people. I like to go and have a hot chocolate and sit and face you, face to face, put the world to rights, and then just come back to my quiet life where I go and collect nice piece of art. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, this is why what we do is we wanted to bring it back, bring it, because it's blowing up Comic Cons, as you know, and the big ones. And I love the big ones, I do love the big ones, but I also want to go back to my childhood and go back to the thing is where you can just go on up to an actor and have a good chat. You can find that one comic book, you can go and sit and have a board game, that's what I love about Will, bringing the board games together, because everybody's always on the phones or consoles or stuff, Will doing this, on a Thursday night with his board games, and it's getting bigger and bigger. It's just brilliant. So
That's
what I
amazing,
mean.
because
And
I'm
that's why we
hearing-
wanted to do the podcast, because we wanted people like you, real people, actually telling people, because they'll watch the news or they'll watch the other Twitters, and you've got these actors, these famous actors, and they're just reading a script or they're being told what the PR's telling them. When they come on like our channel, which yes, they're too big for us probably, but when they do come on, we can get deep into them and get the real of them, to
That's
say,
it.
this is
and
me.
Comic Cons, I think in some situations, in the early days, it was like, wow, excuse me, and then it became very oversaturated. It was everywhere. And then you have the main players such as Monopoly with Andy. I know Andrew Cleet very, very well. I've known him a very, very long time, and what he has built, starting obviously with For the Love of, which was all set up by Carl Whiteley, one of my beautiful, beautiful friends. And there's not a day goes by that I don't miss that guy, and when he passed away, a piece of me died as well, to be honest. And what him and Mark Cookson were creating, and then obviously following Carl's death, Andy picked up the gauntlet and really ran with For the Love of, and then Monopoly events literally went everywhere. They are amazing. But as well, I love the independent ones as well. I loved being in Lytham, and that guy who came up to me with the tattoo, and he was just like, I didn't think I'd ever get a chance to show you this. And I mean, how amazing is that? That someone has taken the time to come to Lytham, on a train, queued up, coming just to show me a tattoo. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And doing such like Wigan and Preston, and obviously we've got Haywood coming up. I love these. I love that, that there can be these independent ones, so that everybody gets a chance. Everybody who hasn't got, £1,000 to go and meet such and such, or £600 to have a photo with such and such, and blah 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 blah. That they can come, they can see me, have a bit of a chat, or meet their favorite soap star or something like that. I think that's really, really nice, and I think it's really important as well. I really like that. I love doing the independents. I think it's great, and you meet some amazing people.
Helps your films as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get to meet some really, really nice, interesting people. I mean, I did one recently, and we'd got, it was, which one was it? Was it Wigan? I'm sure, I think it was Wigan. And we'd got, so there was me, there was one of my best mates next to me in the world, Andrew Lancel from The Bill, Neil Manson.
Oh yes, it was.
Many years on The Bill. So we've got
yes.
Neil Manson, I've got Andy at the side of me, Andrew there. There's me, there's Peter Purves here from Blue Peter, Doctor Who. Next to him, there was Colin Baker there. Then there's people from American Horror Story sat there. And then down at the bottom, you've got Phil Fletcher, the legend that is Hack of the Dog. And you just think, this is
you can't
bonkers.
get that anywhere, can you? You can't get that anywhere.
You're like, this is absolutely bonkers, but brilliant. You're in a sports hall. It's brilliant. Love it.
It's great. It is great. So, like I said, thank you for doing this with us. We, as you said, Boarhog 2 is coming. So, can you, not too much give away, but can you give us a little bit of insight of when's it's due out? Or
yes, to be honest, I don't know anything about it. So, I know that they are on draft number 3 of the script. I've thrown some ideas in. I am going on board as executive producer for this one, and
Nice.
I will be involved in the full casting process as well. I know Craig's got a few ideas tucked up his sleeve, and he has a nice team around him as well. So, but regarding storyline, characters, scenarios, I don't know anything at all at the moment. I don't know. I don't know any of it. So,
Oh,
but
so has he not
that's,
told you I'm coming for you? Has he not told you?
I saw that you put that comment on.
I
Bring
keep
it
trying,
on.
I keep trying, I know. I keep saying to Craig, let me at him, let me at him.
Bring it on. Yeah, here we go. Come on then.
Yeah, I don't fancy your
So
chances, Paul.
I don't know. I really don't know anything about it, but I quite
I
like
could be
that.
his long lost brother. You see?
The little piglet.
Piglet,
Yeah.
like little piglet.
Oh, we could call you pork scratching.
Yeah, you see. Well, we was talking to Craig about where he got the name Boarhog, and he was saying that it was pig, but then they did a film called Pig, so he had to change the name.
Oh right, okay. I don't even know that.
Yeah, it
Okay,
was Nicolas Cage. So I think in his mind he was calling it Pig,
right.
and then Nicolas Cage came out with a film called Pig.
I'm
So
that
he's
Nicolas
like,
Cage.
so he's like, that Boarhog it is then.
Wow.
But I think Boarhog is better. I think the name is actually better than Pig.
Yeah, we've never even had that conversation. I didn't even know where the name came from, to be honest. But
Yeah, because
yeah,
I was intrigued because that was one of my first questions to him was why Boarhog?
why
Why?
Boardhog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never even thought about that.
And then you'll have to watch it because it went all on to Timon and Pumbaa. Yeah, it went right off script.
Nothing will ever surprise me about Quinn ever. But yes, I
So
am looking forward.
if you read the Boarhog 2 script and you see Timon and Pumbaa, that's because of me.
That's fine. I really am looking forward to going back into it. I'm not going to be wearing this mask though.
Also, there's got to be a new one.
Yeah, we're going to advance him quite a bit. So we are in discussions at the moment with Sid, who is the designer. So I've got some ideas in my mind of what I want him to look like. Craig got his ideas. Sid was coming up with some ideas as well. So we're going to try and piece them all together so that we get the best of all of our ideas. But yeah, this one is he will not be seen again. He's just going to stay on his little mannequin now. Bless him. Because
So I've asked this questions to Craig, you know, to Ashley Lister, you know, to Kim, all horror related. Like about what is your concept of horror? Like, do you like the mental side of it, the physical side of it, or like, you know, the blood, the gore? Like Terrifier, they just went basically blood gory,
Yeah.
didn't they? And
I
but for me, I'm not really into the blood gory. I'd like
Yeah.
to see you mess with people, like you said with
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger,
Yeah.
like Boarhog does, you know, getting into people's
Get into
minds,
the head.
because that is more frightening than actually seeing just an head getting chopped off
Yeah.
or a leg getting chopped off. Or
I really love a good psychological thriller. I like What Lies Beneath, Harrison Ford, Michelle Pfeiffer. Love that. Like with the underlying ghost story and seeing Harrison Ford as a villain, amazing. So I do love that. American Horror Story. All the different genres that Ryan Murphy has come up with for that. Like started with Murder House, Coven, which I love, and season 13 is coming back with Jessica, which is so Freak Show, that kind of horror. But I love stuff like Black Mirror as well.
yes,
I really love Black Mirror. Film wise, a good. So anything by Stephen King. Pennywise. I
definitely.
love the original It with Tim Curry. Needful Things, Kingdom Hospital. You know, I think the best one, because I love a good ghost story. My absolute favourite. If I've got a chill afternoon, I'll go and sit down. If I want to put a movie on, I will put Rose Red on by Stephen King,
Okay. Yeah.
which Nancy Travers, you know, as the lead with the under theme of A Summer Place playing through it, which is just messes with your head because it's just, oh my goodness gracious me. But I love Rose Red. So those kind of films with a supernatural twist. But then you can go, obviously the icons, Freddy Krueger, just Robert Englund is he's just God, isn't he? Really, let's be right.
He is God.
Just my God, what he created with that is just mind blowing. But
Well, I think that's what you said before about, because like I said, even Freddy Krueger, he has a story.
Yep.
These films have got to have a story. Like I said, there's a backstory in them, and then there's questions to be asked. Because like I said, probably we didn't have them in them because we was younger. But now it was always like, what was Freddy Krueger like as a child? What was he like as a teenager?
yes,
What set him off? And then and we got that kind of them stories. And
I quite like that regarding like Friday the 13th with Jason, because obviously the mother and the links through Crystal Lake and stuff like that. And you get it with Halloween as well, the full story of Michael regarding Laurie Strode. Jamie Lee Curtis is she is queen of horror. Realistically, she is the queen. So I love the way that the movies can link all these different stories together. Halloween 3 with Shamrock was just one on its own, but we'll just leave that there. But the way that the story of Laurie feeds through the narrative of all the Halloweens leading up to H2O and kills and everything like that, I like that in a horror film. It makes me as a horror actor feel safe, that there's still that narrative running through it all. I do like that one. I really do. And I think you got that with the likes of Horror Story, American Horror Story, with the key characters, the fact that it's Evan Peters, Jessica Lange, Kathy Bates, Angela Bassett, Sarah Paulson, Lily Rabe, all these icons move through and keep moving through and keep taking you on this journey, although they're playing different characters. I think that's really clever in horror. It's really clever.
like Boarhog now. I think you've got to be very careful because, like you said, you don't want to lose the audience in 2. There is a 3 and there is a 4. There could be. Do you know it could carry on, but it's the way you direct it, the way what you do.
I don't know if realistically, I don't know if we'll make it to 4. I think there'll be a 3rd. I feel that there'll be enough to tell the story into the 3rd. But yeah, I don't want it to become predictable.
Friday the 13th, 57.
Yeah. Boarhog in space.
Yeah.
You
Boarhog
could
fights a shark.
Boarhog versus Beetlejuice.
you need a son of Boarhog. That'd be number 4. Son of Boarhog.
Well, there you go. We've just said what's it? Nicolas Cage, the pig versus Boarhog.
Yeah.
And you could say you nicked my film title.
There's so many AI versions being done. There's Boarhog versus Anaconda. There's Boarhog versus the icons. I think you saw that one with all the icons.
Yeah.
Boarhog against Beetlejuice. We did him. Boarhog against Candyman. I really liked that one. That looked fun. that looked really good fun. But yeah, I don't want to do Boarhog in space or Boarhog.
No, I think they spoiled it with Freddy v. Jason. I thought that was
my
idea. Like, to me, enough's enough.
My idea that I pitched for the sequel, which I don't know if he's gone with it because, like I said, he's on draft 3 at the moment. That Boarhog has become a bit of an urban legend now. Did it happen? Was he real? Is he really out there? And so I wanted a group of students, a group of horror enthusiasts to follow in the footsteps of this legend of the Boarhog to see if he's real. And that would link kind of nicely into Blair Witch Project kind of territory and stuff like that. And then one by one, I start picking them off. So that was kind of mine. Whether Craig will use any of that, I don't know. But that we were just throwing ideas into a hat, and mine was, let's try the ghost hunters, if you like, that they're wanting to follow in Brecknell's footsteps. Was he really the Boarhog, or is it all, landed on somebody else? So I don't know. Whatever we do, we will create mayhem and a little bit of craziness. And you can.
Well, Craig knows what he's doing.
Really?
He does. If he goes with Martimon and Pumba, then we know he does.
Oh my days! Right, great. I'll wait for that one. You're scaring me now.
Right, so we've come to an end, but we're going to see you at Horrorwood,
Yep, that's
which
that's
is
on the
the
28th.
28th. It is, yeah. So if you've not got your tickets, please still get your tickets. I'm sure we'll put a link up. You can come and see Reece. You can come say hello. You can come get a picture. I'm sure he'll have some beautiful sparkling jacket on. He
I will
always
have,
turns
I'll
up.
have something, and as always, it's for Dementia UK as well. So yeah, I do it for the charity. So I lost my granddad to dementia. So yeah, anything that I make through the pictures and stuff like that goes straight to the charity. I don't keep any of that. It goes straight to them. Yeah, that's
So
just me personally.
what we do now as well is we have a bucket from the galaxy.
What?
Yes, the bucket from the galaxy.
Okay.
Okay, and it
Yep.
has random questions in.
Yep.
These questions you would never ever been answered before.
Okay.
They are from the universe. They're not
Yep.
from me. So we just do 5 questions. So we go. This will be a good one for you.
Yep.
If animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
Animals could talk, which would be the rudest? Probably a great white shark.
I've got to say, you missed a trip there with a Boarhog.
Yeah, definitely a great white shark. Yeah, which would be the rude? Can you imagine coming face to face with a great white shark? Be like, hey, my ocean. Yeah,
I'm the king. I'm the king.
I'm in charge. I'll eat that pig.
Right, next question is: do you ever drool in your sleep?
Like what?
Ever drool in your sleep?
No.
There you go. Told you there were stupid random questions.
I love it. No, never.
Number 3: Justice League or Avengers?
I don't. Neither for me. I've never seen any of them. I don't even know what that means.
At least you're honest. Number 4 is playlists or podcasts.
Playlists. Even though I'm on a podcast. Yeah. Actually,
you could have said hours.
Actually, yeah, I'm old school vinyl. Give me a vinyl record.
And the last one is concerts or theatre.
Theatre.
I thought you would have said that because that's where it all kind of comes together.
I went to the theatre the other night to watch Noel Coward's Private Lives. Wow. And it's coming to the Exchange very soon with Jill Halfpenny, one of the greatest actresses in this country, Jill Halfpenny. And she's going to be at Manchester Exchange from next week, I think, for like a month. And then 2 nights ago, I went to see The Night Larry Kramer Kissed Me. My beautiful friend Gabrielle taking the lead role. He played all 36 characters. One man,
wow.
One chair, and he played all 36 characters. I had a front row seat. I'm telling you guys, I was blown away. And if this is going out in London, he's in London at the moment doing it. Go and see it. Magnificent. But yeah, theatre every step of the way. Love it.
Well, thanks for joining us, Reece. And like I said, we'll see you at Horrorwood, mate.
I will be there on the 28th. Can't wait to meet you both.
Thank you very much.
Great night,
Face to face. I'm going to come and play some of your board games, okay?
Yes, please do. Please do. Amazing.
Cheers, mate. Thank you
very much.
See you later.
Cheers. See you later.